As we speak, a temple is being built in the Blackrock Desert in preparation for Burning Man 2024. This year's theme has been revealed, Curiouser and Curiouser. And as you're about to see, it seems to be a nod to the chaotic and nonsensical world of Alice in Wonderland, and even stranger worlds beyond. This temple is being titled the Temple of Together, and it's going to be sort of a centerpiece for the Burning Man Festival. It was designed by a woman named Caroline Gosson, who was a Burning Man attendee back in 2014, who was deeply inspired and moved by the themes found here, which is, as they express usually, unity, community, and respect are all these themes that they have for this festival. But the design itself, if you can see, includes near the entrance a set of two large praying hands. And what's strange is they don't really ever mention, of course, any kind of deity, and they altogether reject Christianity. But there are signs and constant references to the supernatural and deities and deification of things. And one thing I found extremely interesting about the things you're about to see is that they point toward these things and leave them very vague. And I think that's intentional. One more quick look at the design of this thing. It's kind of got a gothic vibe. You can see the hands right there, the sun sort of beaming through the entrance there. We have the two praying hands. And this is a kind of a working design. The inner parts have like it looks like an inner sanctuary of sorts. Very, these things are temporary, of course, if you didn't know that. They build all these buildings out there in the desert. And I think they build them in a few days or weeks beforehand, and then they take it all down. And apparently, supposedly, never leave a mark or any trace, litter, any of that stuff. All the materials are gathered back up. There's some really interesting things I wanted to discuss about the theme. So we have Curiouser and Curiouser, which is, of course, a reference to a line in Alice in Wonderland. So they're going with this theme, but I just wanted to read a little bit. Let's read this quote at the top here real quick. It says, "In order to attain the impossible, one must attempt the absurd." So this is the quote above the article here, but I just wanted to read a little bit of this. Check some of this language out and just tell me what you think, if you agree with me or not, but I'm going to give you my analysis of this. It says, the 2024 Burning Man theme celebrates puzzles without answers, embraces the irrational and the absurd, and invites the unknown over for tea. I'll jump out real quick. That's the first couple lines of this, but it just seems we have the thematic sort of invitation. You're inviting something in, something, from the chaos, something from another realm. Okay, this is important. I think this is, we can say this is inviting creativity in, but you just follow me here. They're talking about inviting things in, so I'm going to continue from there. So because it's in those timeless moments of not knowing, when we're consumed entirely by curiosity, that we experience our most profound learning, growth, and creativity. All great journeys of discovery begin with a question. Without that spark of curiosity, no movement is possible. Staring into the void of unreason, we experience the wonderfulness of wonder and the staggering awesomeness of awe. So, I wanted to point out there, it's just, there's a little bit of a vanity in this, just from reading it. It's just without that spark. I'll go back and read this. Without the spark of curiosity, no movement is possible. Staring into the void of unreason, we experience I'm going to highlight this wonderfulness of wonder and the staggering awesomeness of awe. Okay, so wonderfulness of wonder, awesomeness of awe. So awe for the sake of awe. I mean, it's kind of strange, kind of feels kind of dead-endish, It's sort of like they're stopping short of the true transcendent nature of what's going on. They're stopping short. They don't want to put labels on it. It's like they want to ignore where the true source of where this stuff is coming from. And we have this stuff going back centuries. People talk about the muses, the sources of creativity. And I'm not saying every source of creativity is bad. I'm a creative person. I don't really believe that it's all evil or wickedness, but there's something that can happen when someone meditates on the darker side of things and wants to draw and extract something from the spirit world and is not careful about these things. But I'm going to go on. There's some more interesting language here. I want you to check out this last sentence and where they're going here with this. It says, which leads, after all this wonderfulness of wonder and staggering awesomeness of awe, weird language, I don't know, which leads inexorably to the asking of better questions, which is, after all, what makes us better than robots. Now, I want you to remember that, because I'm going to continue here down here. It says it makes us better than robots, right? You don't want to be a robot, according to this. So the magic of wonder is its power to startle us out of sleep mode, which is just strange. They say that this is what makes us better than robots. So is it saying we are robots? Because it's saying that we're in sleep mode. We need to be startled out of our sleep mode, which sounds like a phone or a device, and back into the immediacy of being. Studies say that the average human on the average day is running on autopilot. So I think they're making a reference. I mean, that's what a lot of this is. They're making a reference to how robotic human society has become, and I can jive with that. I get that. I'm all for that, but they keep making these references. They say that we're better than robots, but then they keep putting in these mechanical language to describe people and their nature, which I thought was strange. But about half the time, while they think about something else, possibly cat videos, even our best days, it's easy to just believe that we think we can stay inside the painted lines. The education system fills up with all the answers to all the questions, standardized exams. They're saying we lose the ability to imagine. But here, it says, sometimes we need to fall down a rabbit hole or step through a drawing room mirror to encounter the freakiness that was right there all along. Just a tornado ride away in Oz, or 3 wishes over in Fairy. Just past the Tory Gate on the spirit side, or a short rocket ride over to I'm gonna butcher this. Antithon, which this is fascinating. You need to see this. Antiquethon, which is a counter Earth on the far side of the sun, where everything is its opposites and nothing is impossible. So this is fascinating. I'm going to read this quote from the Mad Hatter. If I had a world of my own, everything would be nonsense. Nothing would be what it is, because everything would be what it isn't. On the contrary wise, what is, it wouldn't be. And what it wouldn't be, it would. You see? It's total nonsense. It's just designed for confusion. I mean, they're creating, they're positing that confusion and chaos is a virtue, that being in a storm of chaos can create this wave of creativity, and so on and so forth. Of course, if you're unfamiliar, this festival is just full of drugs. I mean, it's just sounds like a lot of rationalizing for taking a lot of, dimethyltryptamine, DMT, Molly, whatever they got going around these festivals. I'm not too up to date on what the designer drugs are nowadays that they're taking, but the stuff that takes them out of their world, takes them out of their regular consciousness. So I looked into this because I had never heard of this Antichthon or Antichthon. Antichthon is this counter-Earth that was hypothesized by the Greek philosopher Philolaus, which, to support his non-geocentric cosmology, in which all objects in the universe revolve around a central fire. So he thought that which was kind of right in a way, because he was talking about how, our entire solar system does go around the sort of galactic center. He thought that there was a transcendent structure to the universe, which he was right in a way. But as you can see over here, there's a little diagram, but he thought that this counter Earth, here's Earth, and this antichthon revolved on the exact opposite side of this central fire, cosmic central fire. It's like another sun, maybe a black sun. I digress on that, but it kind of lines up with that. But Earth is always on the opposite side, so we can't see it, and we're never aware of it. Just thought this was fascinating. And according to this theory by these philosophers, they said that just by virtue of the fact that of their theory of the universe, that this other anti-Earth or counter-Earth was the opposite. Everything was just inverted. It was like a mirror image. Everything was just inverted, backwards, exactly like it is, sort of like how physicists describe, I wouldn't even say physicists, but occultists describe alternate dimensions, parallel dimensions. But this is a common thing in the occult. I've talked about this ad nauseum, about how there's power in the reversal. You take things and flip it upside down. As above, so below. As within, so without. There's a law of reversal that gives them power. It gives spells power, or manifestation power to accomplish whatever goal. It's the old Faustian bargain. All that stuff plays into it, but I digress on that now. I just want to stick to this theme because it's interesting. They throw this stuff in there, and we're really talking about mirror images and this world. They want you to just maybe help manifest this world, this or to help them manifest it at this festival. They just it's very much a spiritual experience at this Burning Man festival. But like I said, they stop short. Instead of getting into language, when they start talking about transcendent experiences, they just say the wonder of wonder, the awe, the awesomeness of awe itself. It's like, okay, they stop short. Well, what's the source of it? They don't get into the angels and demons terminology very often. They want you to focus on the experience. It's very experience based, and it's very self-sufficient. You are sort of it's you and the universe, and you are the universe, and the universe is you. It's a very close-ended kind of, where it just doesn't seem like they want to ask too many deep questions while at the same time asking very, very deep things about this limited sort of bubble that they want you spiritually to be in. But that's kind of my thoughts on it. There are, I believe last year, it might have been the first or second day, they had like catastrophic flooding at this place. And this place that usually never gets any rain at all had like 6 inches of just thick, mud that had people couldn't even walk around, vehicles couldn't leave, people were basically stranded, supplies couldn't come in. It kind of, I don't want to say it ruined the festival. I think they carried on, but it was like after the first night, they had all these, I'm trying to remember what the theme was last year, but it's escaping me. I'll put in some visuals here if I can find them, but the main image and main symbol of this festival has been around since the beginning, but it's a mock sacrifice. And it draws a lot of comparisons to the Celtic festivals and pagan festivals around the world. Druidic roots, most definitely. It's got connections to the Greenman, Gaia. And if you have not seen those videos, I'll link those in the comments. If you haven't seen those videos on my past Burning Man videos or my video on the Greenman, Revenge of the Greenman, and other ones related to this subject. But they are, this is a deeply symbolic allusion to sacrifice. And some would say people sacrifice. But I believe Burning Man begins at the end of this month. So I'm going to make more content on this. We're going to go into some of the deeper symbols. I mean, we got Alice in Wonderland, the mirrors, the reversal, inversion, follow the white rabbit, Mad Hatter. I mean, this stuff has connections to all kinds of mind control and just spiritual overtones, transcendent themes of just the occult that are being reworked and repackaged for people who are drug enthusiasts and are very highly creative artists. I mean, this is a very prestigious. It's gained a lot of traction over the years. I think the first one had like maybe a dozen or 24 people that showed up back in the 80s for the first Burning Man, and this thing has grown exponentially. I think it was around the 90s. It just started to just blow up, and it's just become this center for they promote a lot of sustainability. A lot of these artists this year are promoting the fact that their artwork is going to be quote unquote the most sustainable or the most green, the least amount of carbon emissions produced to make the materials, all that stuff. I mean, who knows? But I mean, that agenda is most definitely here. They're very Mother Earth, Gaia centric. But yeah, there will definitely be more content coming out about this. And let me know what you guys think about some of these symbols. What is this stuff? I'm probably missing something. What does this stuff look like to you? I love to discuss this stuff. So I will be coming out with more soon, and I will talk to you all later.